Alright, let's make a yarn animation. This is a pretty simple one if you are a bit experienced with After Effects animations, but if you're not, just follow along. I'll make this really simple. Make a new project, new composition, make it 30 FPS, and you want this to be 3 seconds long. There we go, 3 seconds long. Alright, now we're chilling. New text. You're gonna get in the font Rockit. You have to download this. Is not part of your actual After Effects. You're gonna have to download it. Go to the font. I will put a link in the description. Make it your name for tutorial purposes. I don't want to do this for a while. I already have my animation, so I'm gonna do a straight line. So with straight lines, actually I'll do K, because that's, we'll do L actually. Actually, A might be a little bit. Yeah, A. And then we're going to do an O, so something that's curved. This is actually really simple. So what you have to do is you have to, first of all, you got to align it. And when you are doing this, it's not a preset. You can't, because when you're actually making this, you have to trace the letters. And that's not something you can have a template for. You can have a template for something with words like the letters fall into place. But this, you're actually having to trace the letters, which isn't a preset thing. So if you want the real yarn thing, follow along. It's pretty simple. Straight letters. Don't make the entire letter one thing. So watch, there's this A, there's this line. So what you're gonna do, click your pen tool, click in this open area so you deselect everything, and you're gonna click, and you're gonna click. Change the size to where it's like 1 pixel bigger. It's better to have it bigger than to smaller, because if you don't have it bigger, what's gonna happen is, or when it's smaller, there's gonna be little pieces that aren't gonna fall in line. Because what we're actually gonna do, you're not actually gonna see this trace. We're gonna take this trace and we're gonna apply it to the word. Might sound difficult, but it takes 3 clicks. So get that bigger, like maybe a couple pixels bigger up here. By the way, with your fill options, put this to none and make your stroke like grayish color works. But anyways, that's gonna be 1, and we're gonna do A left. Don't do all your entire letter in one layer. Make different layers. And when you're gonna make a new layer, click your pen tool, click open, because see how it's selected? Now it's deselected. So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna go from the top to the bottom now. So we're gonna select. We're gonna select. And if you want to make it longer, use your hand tool. So V, selection tool, and just make it longer. And then go back to your pen, rename it, right click, rename. And do this A right. Boom. Not hard at all, right? We're gonna finish this off. Put it through the center. A middle. And you do maybe, like you see how this one's going up and this one's going down. When we are finishing it off, we're gonna have to do some adding touches to the animation to make it all look synced up, but I'll show you that later. Curved seems a little bit difficult, and it is. It's a lot more difficult than straight lines. You're gonna click a dot, go a little bit ahead, and you're gonna hold it. Don't let go. You're gonna hold it. You're just gonna pull this out to where it curves. Next line. Click it again. And now curve it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to trace it. But then again, listen, this is an animation you're gonna use over time. It's not a one-time thing like your highlights. This is gonna be using over time. You're gonna use this multiple montages. So take your time on this. Don't be cheap. Like, take your time. If it doesn't look good, do it again. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to trace just like that. And boom, trace the O. Just rename that to O. O, you only need 1 layer because it's a single layer thing. Now we're gonna get the animation done. You're gonna right click, or you're gonna drop down arrow, add track paths, or sorry, trim paths. Open up that trim paths. You're gonna go to your start, or you're gonna go to 25 frames after, or 5 frames before the end, or 1 second. You could choose 1 second or 25 frames for this. I'm gonna just do 1 second. Click your end, offset, or just your end. Put a keyframe there and put a keyframe at the start. And at the start, put it to 0%. So what that does is it draws it on. And if you do want to do a draw out animation, do the same thing, just opposite. For this, I'm not going to do a draw out animation because we're going to do a different type of thing. But that is how you do it, by the way. Now you're going to highlight these, F9, go to your graph editor, right click speed graph. And it should look like this. And all you're going to do, bring this to the center, bring this to the center. And all this is doing is going to slow, speed, slow. Slow, speed, slow. That's what it's going to do. And if you look at it, see how it's not linear anymore? It's more of a fast in the middle. Just adjust that until you like it. That looks pretty decent. I'm actually gonna start it right, yeah. Okay, right there is good. Now we're gonna copy these, so highlight, Control C, put your timeline indicator at the start, and then just click on each layer, Control V, Control V, Control V. Okay, and you see this A, you see how this A, look. See how this one starts, and this one starts. It that does not look good. So what we're gonna do is, for organization purposes, if you have a long name, you can organize each letter. So let's say all the A's we could put as yellow, the O's we could put as different color, and each layer could be a different color, just for organization purposes. So we're gonna open up all the A's. So click U. And so we want the A left to be the first one. So the A left is gonna come up, and then we want the A middle to start right here. So right as this one passes, we want the A middle to start. Does that make sense? So A middle is gonna start there. So watch, as this passes by, then it's gonna go. And then we want this one, we can actually bring this back a bit. We want A right to start here. And we're gonna bring this back as well. Not sure why it's doing this. I don't know why it has those lines. Here, let's see if we can fix this. Oh, I put it at 1%. Put that at 0. Sorry, that's my bad. I put it at 1% instead of 0. Sheesh. Perfect. Now this should look good. There. Perfect. Now we're gonna go we're gonna click U and close all these out. Now what we're gonna do now is, and open up all these, you're gonna go contents, shape 1, stroke 1, and make all of these round caps for each of them. Contents, shape 1, stroke 1, round cap. Contents, shape 1, stroke 1, turn that to round cap. Do this for all of it. All that's gonna do is, instead of when it's writing it on, see how this is a straight line, see how this is round, we made this one a round cap, we made this is a flat cap. We want a round cap, it looks better. It just in general is better. Alright, click U on all of these to close out all your keyframes. Boom. You got that draw. Now what we want to do is we're going to select all of these. We're going to pre-compose. Open this up. The O doesn't look perfect. Yep. That's 0%. If you want to open it up, you just double click it, but perfect. All right, now we're gonna Control C these, Control V them. And if we want to add color, we're gonna add the color now. If we're gonna add color, we're gonna do this to the bottom layer. And if we're doing it to the bottom layer, we need to have the top layer a little bit farther ahead, or else they're just gonna be completely overlapped and you can't see the color. So we're gonna move it up 4 frames. If you don't do this, you won't be able to see the color because it's on top of each other. Move it 4 frames, click your text for the bottom, and you bring it out, and then get your text tool, and you're just gonna highlight this. You're gonna change the color. I'm gonna do something like, I'll do some light blue like that. Nothing perfect, but once the animation finishes, so at 1 second, if you can see how there's like this blue outline behind it. What we want to do is then just Control Shift D and get rid of that, so there's no outline on the back of it anymore. We can actually get rid of this right here. But there, that's really the main part of the animation. That's the animation part. Now we're just gonna finish it off. Make this fit. Okay. We're just gonna pre-compose this. Hold Control and click all of them. It's gonna be final. Now we're gonna go to where it really kind of starts. So I'd say like 12-ish frames. Just about there, looks good. And we're gonna make it Akira expanded. Put this to 40 pixels. And we're gonna just write edited by. We're gonna change their text to white. Just gonna highlight this text to white. We're going to get our selection tool and we're going to move this to where we want. Make it to where it kind of fits, right? So that looks where it's kind of there. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add scale and opacity onto our edit by. So we're gonna do opacity first. So with this, click your edit by text, click S, click keyframe, click T, and click keyframe. I'll click U. Those will both come up. So go to where you want it to come in. So I'm gonna do about 13 frames. Now go to the start, put more keyframes, put it both to 0. Now what we could do is it should come in. Okay, we're gonna F9 all of these. Then we're gonna select the top 2. And we're gonna do that thing again. So, but this time we're gonna bring it all to the left, like that. You're gonna bring all of this to straight to the left, like that. Actually, adjust this a bit. Okay, it looks better. I'm actually gonna change this. I'm gonna make it towards the middle again. That said, you could just play around with this. For this one, I don't like that. It looks better on different ones, but for this, no. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. Kind of matches the words. Okay. Now we're going to click U, and we're going to put this drop down, animate, anchor point. Now we're going to do add property tracking. We're going to go tracking amount. We're going to go, so what this tracking does is we're going to go to add a tracking amount. Go to the start, click a keyframe, what we want is a bit before your scale and opacity. Excuse me. All right, you're gonna go a bit before your opacity, and what this does is, if we look at it, tracking amount, it just makes it all combined. So see, it's all like one little thing. So we don't want that right now. So we're gonna put that to 0. But we're gonna do that to the first one though. We're gonna bring it to where what looks good. 16. Okay, we'll do 16. You go to the one where you can actually see it, and then you go 16. Negative 16. We can actually bring this out a bit. Yeah, I think that looks better. How it comes out and then it finishes off. See that? Yeah, that actually looks really good. It comes up, it gets the full position, and then after it like gets in its text, its letter positioning. Yeah, that actually looks really good. It looks like boom, boom. It hits the full position, and then it scales out. Boom, boom, like that. Looks really good. All right, we're gonna do the same thing. F9. Bring these in a bit. Okay, sick. I'm gonna bring that over that way instead. All right, that looks really good. Now we're gonna do U. We're gonna pre-comp both of these. Or we're gonna pre-compose, finish. So we're just gonna finish it off. We're gonna do some finishing touches. For the entire thing, we want it to both come in. So we're gonna put this to fit. And what we are going to do is gonna do T, click opacity, scale, opacity, and then we can see here. Okay. Click U. Bring it to where almost, so halfway between. So look, if our edited by text gets in position right here, okay, I actually want to finish this off a little bit. Okay, I like that a little bit more. It's kind of a slowed down. The text comes into position. Just mess around with that, but that looks really good how I did that. How it kind of came into position like that. Okay, what just happened? Workspace. Okay. Just did that. Please don't crash. No. Okay, thank God. I don't know what just happened. Yeah, okay. We don't want this. Okay, you. Let's go to halfway between. So look, our text, the edited by text is halfway up to its position right here. So we're gonna put it there. And then we're gonna do more keyframes here. Put it to 25 and 25. We also want to do positioning. So click P. Now click U. So we have a position keyframe. Put it halfway between these two, or a little bit towards, like, in between, a little bit more towards the end. Put another keyframe, and for the start, we are going to bring it up and to the right, so from the bottom corner. And F9. This is just always, you always do this for an animation. Makes it look less linear and more snazzy. F9. And this is actually, we're just finishing it off. This is, you're practically done with your animation. There, you're done with your animation. This is technically your animation right there. Boom. And we're actually going to do the last thing. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frames before the end. Add your scale and positioning. Go to the end. Scale and positioning. And put this last one to 0. And this last one to 0. So it just goes away. Do the speed graph again. There. Let's look at your final animation. Boom. That is your animation. Make this a transparent background. You don't actually have to do this. Wait, okay. We could actually make this not transparent. Now we're going to go here, export, add to render queue. You're gonna make your output mode to QuickTime, RGB and alpha. Okay. Change your finishing area or your output, like where it's gonna go. Render it. Should be a really quick render. You should hear the ding, and you're done. So that is your animation. If you did actually use this and it helped you, please drop a like and subscribe. I'm trying to become an editor for YouTubers or just different creators. So I'm trying to get my name out there. So please help me by subscribing, liking, maybe vouch in comments. I'm just trying to, if this helped you anyways, but yeah, thank you. Like and subscribe if you did use this. Even if you didn't, share this around in case if people actually want to use this. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.